this law was not included in this 1917-18 code. And so we have to wonder about the people that put the code in. Rampolla, Gaspari, Benedict XV.
But clearly they wanted it so they could then blackmail. It's the same thing that's happening today. Now, what is the overall agenda now that these globalists have fully gotten control of the Catholic Church? I mean, where is all this going, Hutton?
Well, they've managed to destroy any respect that most people have for the clergy, and especially the hierarchy. There's a gentleman in Illinois, Stephen Brady, who puts out a report every now and then called AMDG, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, all for the greater glory of God. And he has been fighting these queers, these homosexuals, in the clergy and in the hierarchy. And I can draw very readily, I'm led to believe by his investigation, that 70% of the American Catholic bishops are queer. So,
well, I would specify and be specific on that, though. This is a prerequisite for blackmail. So people out there listening, whatever their view on this is, the point is this is being done strategically to control the Republican Party, the Democratic Party. And this is a club, then. They only let their people in.
They let in the blackmailable people, so they will do what they're damn well told, right?
Well, we see this in sheriff's departments. This ended up happening in Austin a few years back. And so regardless of what people's views are, people out there, who are liberal, modern, whatever, and say, oh, you guys are Hutton's being, backward and bigoted. Whatever your view is on that, Hutton is simply stating the fact, and that 70% from the research of the bishops are involved in this, and I've seen it from my own research. I totally agree with that. I would say more than half of the Republican leadership is. And, it's been coming out that the chairman of the RNC, Hastert, governors, on and on and on. And the point is, it's not just like, these gay people just so happen to get in these positions of power. No, they're picked as part of this network. And I'd go further. It's a lot further than just homosexuality. There's also a lot of pedophilia involved in this, and that's how they really like to blackmail people. Hutton?
Yeah, that's true. So,
what percentage from the research, if 70% are homosexual, what percentage are involved in going after the altar boys?
Well, of the 70% that are queer, yeah, I would say 100%. Because that's much worse. You can blackmail people better that way. These days it seems to be no crime to throw up your orders and say, well, I can't stand this celibacy and go away. But that's something else again, and as you mentioned in the case of the government, people are promoted because they can be told what they must do.
It's amazing. Would you advise somebody then to put somebody in a mainstream so-called Catholic school or system if there's this many perverts floating around in there?
I would not. I think it's one of the worst things you can do these days. At least if you're in a public school, while it is dumbed down and perverted, it is not officially anti-Catholic. It's all religion, of course. You can't bring up religion in this place unless you bring it in, sneak the Bible in as a
history book,
a history book, or
literature,
literature. A good, fine example of good writing. But that's not all the Bibles you see these days. Some of them are pretty wretched.
Well, you're absolutely right. So bottom line, it's compromised, it's blackmailed, regardless of people's political views or social views. The point is, this is going on, this is happening. They're using it to blackmail the White House. This is system-wide, and it's gotten so bad that, as I keep reporting, DynCorp and Halliburton can be in the Chicago Tribune running child kidnapping rings, and no one gets in trouble. I mean, this is so big. What is their goal? I mean, one-child policy, breaking up the family, society's degenerating, every major organization's been infiltrated or compromised or completely taken over by these New World Order people. The average Mason is compartmentalized and has never proceeded outside the porch, so they think the Masonic order is good and think we're liars. They don't know what it is high level. It seems like the whole world is in thrall of this devilish system. Where is it all going, Hutton?
Well, it's heading straight for the end. I don't know how long it's going to take, but unless we can get our church back some way, get the government back some way too, as long as we're at it. But you're more likely to get it back if you have a bunch of people who are trained in morals. It's not done anymore. Everything is loose.
What do you say to mainstream, mainline people that think they're members of the Catholic Church who go along with all of this? I mean, it's clear that this has been designed to destroy that institution, and it has. The membership's fallen off. It's falling apart. I mean, what would you say to those that are still part of this system? What would you say to those who are in denial? That I mean, when Ratzinger's up there saying one world government, new world order, one world religion, I mean, it doesn't get any clearer. That's in clear English. He's clearly saying it.
Yeah, that's true enough.
I mean, I don't know how people could deny.
It's also in clear German and Italian and whatever else you can think of.
Yeah.
It used to come out in Latin, and then nobody knew what he was talking about. We have to say to those people, whom do you follow? Why do you listen to these people? How is it possible that this man is a pope? Because that's what they do. They're infallible. They hold the office, and therefore they can do no wrong, logically, or they carry it too far, because his infallibility is limited to the articles of faith and to the morals.
That means the implementation of the basic foundation, the Bible, the canons.
Yes, and whatever the church has taken from tradition, from Christ and his apostles. Tradition is not what comes later.
Well, isn't it, Hutton Gibson? I mean, this is really like bank robbers dressing up like police to go rob the bank, and then everybody submits to them and says, well, they're wearing the uniform, they must be cops.
Yeah, well, you have to figure there are such things in the world as oxymorons. We have what you could call mutually exclusive concepts. And since these men are on record as promoting heresy, they cannot be Catholic. And if they are not Catholic, they cannot be Pope. We have not had an eligible Pope since Pius XII.
Now, there's a big debate about when the New World Order, and we know it was always in there and doing things, but when the New World Order fully took control of the entire Catholic apparatus, at least this more modern Masonic version. And there's a big debate raging about that. From your research and the other scholars you confer with and your trips to Rome and your research, what have you discovered? When can you mark the point they really, had control?
What they did was call this Vatican Council II, for which there was no reason. If there were any reasons, there might have been three things that would call for something like that, and they did not rule on any one of them. And one of them was communism, one of them was contraception, and one of them was usury. And they never said a word on any of these, officially. And
well, what is it going to take for people to figure out that Ratzinger's pure evil? Is he going to have to dress up in a devil outfit and dance around with a pitchfork?
I don't think that'll do it. People do things like that all the time.
Oh, man. That's the equivalent calling for one world government, one world religion.
Well, as far as it should make a point with Catholics that the man is not a bishop. And there he is. His office is Bishop of Rome. And he's not a bishop, because he went through a ceremony which would never make anyone a bishop, which was brought in at the same time this new Mass was brought in 1969.
So basically there was a hostile takeover. They'd already infiltrated long before, but there was a hostile takeover in 69. That's the key date?
Well, that was pretty conclusive at that point, where they put us all... Any priest that would look at that new Mass